Hello students and welcome to class. If you're an Italian speaker learning English, there are a few words you need to be extra careful with because they look sort of like Italian words, but they don't mean what you think. These are called false friends, falsi amici, and they trip up even advanced English learners. For example, here's a sentence that sounds totally normal in Italian, but will confuse every native English speaker. All of my parents went to my mom's house for dinner. If you just listened and nodded along, you might be making this mistake too. Today, we're going through 5 English words, actually, eventually, parents, library, and argument, that look familiar to Italian speakers, but mean something completely different in English. Let's fix that right now. And if you appreciate me making this type of content, let me know by gently tapping that like button. Let's dive in. Today's video covers 5 false friends. Number 1 is actually. In Italian, this is in realtà, not attualmente, which means currently. Number 2, eventually. Alla fine, or in fino in fondo, not eventualmente, if necessary. Parents, genitori, not parenti, relatives. Library, biblioteca, not libreria, which is a bookshop. And finally, argument, litigio, not argomento, which is a topic. So let's talk about each one. These 5 false friends. Number 1, actually. It looks like it should mean attualmente, currently, right now. It doesn't. Actually means in realtà, in reality, in fact. For example, I actually finished the report yesterday. Means in realtà ho finito il rapporto ieri. If you want to say attualmente, use currently instead. I'm currently working on the report. Number 2, eventually. It looks like eventualmente, if necessary, if possible. It isn't. Eventually means alla fine, in fino in fondo, in the end, after some time. For example, eventually she finished the marathon, means alla fine ha finito la maratona. If you want to say eventualmente, use possibly, if necessary, instead. If necessary, we can reschedule the meeting. Number 3, parents. It looks so close to parenti, relatives, but it's much narrower than that. Parents means only genitori, la mamma e il papà. That's it. Mother and father. For example, my parents live in Rome. It means only your mother and father live in Rome, not your whole family. If you want to say parenti, use relatives instead. I have relatives all over Italy. All right, and number 4, library. It looks so close to libreria, a bookshop, but it's not a shop at all. Library means biblioteca, a place where you borrow books for free, a quiet place to study. For example, I spent the afternoon at the library means you were reading or studying, not buying anything. If you want to say libreria, use bookstore instead. I bought this novel at the bookstore. Number 5, argument. It looks so close to argomento, a topic or a subject. It means something much more heated. An argument means un litigio, a disagreement, an angry one. For example, my roommates had an argument about the rent, means they had a real conflict, not just a discussion. If you want to say argomento, use topic instead. The topic of today's lesson is false friends. Okay, let's do some practice. It's time to put some of these words to the test. I'm going to give you a word and 3 possible meanings. Take a moment to think about which one is correct, and then I'll give you the answer. Let's see how you do. Actually. What does the word actually mean? Currently, in reality, soon. Eventually. What does the word eventually mean? If necessary, sooner or later, in the end, after some time. Parents. What does the word parents mean? Mom and dad, relatives, cousins. Library. What does the word library mean? A shop that sells books, a place with shelves for storing books at home, a place where you can borrow books for free. And finally, argument. What does the word argument mean? A topic or subject, a disagreement or fight, a conversation. So how did you do? If you got most of these right, you are already ahead of a lot of learners who mix these words up every day. And if a few of them tripped you up, that's exactly why we're here, to practice. You'll remember them for next time. Our story practice. First, just listen to the story. At the moment, I'm at home. But yesterday, I went to visit my parents for lunch. The rest of my relatives weren't invited. My mom called and said, I need a book. If you can find it at the library, great. If necessary, you could buy it in a bookstore. But actually, I found a digital copy online. When I got to the house, I could hear an argument about which recipe to use for the sauce. The same topic as always. Eventually, everyone agreed, we'll use Nonna Maria's recipe today and Nonna Caterina's next time. All right, now it's your turn. I'll read the story again, and I'll give you the Italian words that should be where the English words are. When I pause, you say the correct word in English. Attualmente, I'm at home. But yesterday, I went to visit my genitori for lunch. The rest of my parenti weren't invited. My mom called and said, I need a book. If you can find it at the biblioteca, great. Eventualmente, you could buy it in a libreria. But in realtà, I found a digital copy online. When I got to the house, I could hear un litigio about which recipe to use for the sauce. The same argomento as always. Alla fine, everyone agreed. We'll use Nonna Maria's recipe today and Nonna Caterina's next time. So how did you do? Excellent. There you have it. Actually, eventually, parents, library, and argument. 5 small words that look almost Italian, but they definitely are not. Now that you know the real meanings, you won't fall into these traps again. Here is your comment challenge. Write a sentence using one of today's words in the comments below. Try actually, eventually, or library. Show me what you've got. These are not the only false friends between English and Italian. We have another 5 words coming up in our next video, so hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss it. And tell me, what are your language challenges? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and keep practicing.